Hey guys, my name's Cameron Thickett, student number 0106654, and this is assignment 2 to EDC1200. Where I found my article for this assignment was in the Sydney Morning Herald on the 11th of January 2010. And what it writes, the heading for this is KFC, add a storm in a fried chicken bucket. Now what it is, it was a series of advertisements that KFC had on TV during the Australian summer, which was one of the national sports is cricket. And during that summer, during that period, one of the first series within the matches that they played were against the West Indian cricket team. And during this time, KFC produced a series of ads called Cricket Survival Guide. And what these ads had was a bloke named Mick in an Australian gold and silver cricket shirt, which had him starring in a group of advertisements, about 4 to 5, and it had him getting out of sticky situations through producing some of KFC's products. So in order for him to get to watch a cricket match, where some of those scenarios and situations were him at home with his roommates. His roommate had a girl over and they were making out, and he got one of the products, gave it to the couple, and they stopped making out so he could watch cricket in peace. Same thing happened when over his girlfriend's house with her family. He wasn't able to watch cricket, so what he did, he brought some KFC in, they got some of the products, started eating it, he turned the channel over, took the batteries out of the remote, which allowed him to watch a cricket game. Well, the reason why one of these ads were in the headings was because it was a time when Australia were playing the West Indies, as I previously said, and it had Mick in the centre of a supporting crowd of West Indian supporters, where, like any other supporter, like if you're in another team's group, it is quite uncomfortable because you're going against the other team that you're not barracking for. And it had Mick in the centre of this group, West Indian supporters, so they were black, Mick being a white guy, and had him bring in some fried chicken so he can watch the cricket in peace. And that was the series, that was the nature of the ad. So West Indian cricket team playing against Australia, he was in the centre of the supporting teams, put out chicken to get them to be quiet, along the same lines as the previous ads. Whereas quite simply, so KFC sponsored the cricket, Australia were playing the West Indies, and KFC sell fried chicken. So that was the nature behind the ad. And to the Australian public, there wasn't much of an uproar or not so much of a notion of racism involved. But as soon as this got onto the YouTube and got patched over to the Americans saw this, and straight away they branded this as racism or racist, and they got this advertisement taken off the ad. And they found this offensive because it perpetuates the stereotype that black people eat a lot of fried chicken, something that is foreign to the Australian public, because we didn't have those issues of the Americans did they were around the deep south of America, that the black people or the the Negro population of America eat fried chicken, and it's a good way to get them to be quiet. And so there was a big uprising from America back onto Australia, and this had got taken off TV. When trying to identify this issue in the difference in the Australian context, cricket is a national sport, or one of the national sports of Australia, and it was a time where this was viewed when Australia were playing West Indies. So in context, you cannot really, or that's not really a racist innuendos behind it, because it's all in the same sort of era. Yes, it was lighthearted and it was funny, but in no way do I believe that it was aimed at intentionally being racist towards this group. But however, on a national identity though, when looking from an American view onto the Australian view, you can understand with their past history. But our Australian history is that different of the American, same with any other country. And all that happened was, it was more the Americans' view, heavy-handed view, that we are like them, therefore we are racist, because we are saying that fried chicken is associated with the African American population, and that the only way to get them to be quiet is to give them fried chicken, which is wrong, because they don't understand the game of cricket. They don't understand the West Indian population, because the West Indian population didn't get angry at this, or did the Australian. It was only the foreign. So on our Australian identity, it was definitely harmed, and more so heightened the view that Australians are racist people, when in fact, with a deeper understanding, it was completely taken out of view or context.
When you're stuck in an awkward situation? Too easy. KFC's crowd pleaser. A huge variety of delicious chicken and plenty of tasty sides.
Now, when applied to the education and trying to use this as a tool to produce education in the way of difference and diversity, with this topic, you first need to define some of the key worries behind why this got taken off air and the implications of what the views of others have of this ad, and be able to define that and to understand, get a deeper understanding of this. Some terms that need to be defined would be race. So get a group understanding, group knowledge of the term race first to understand, so we can understand what it is to be different, or what it is to be classified into different races. From there, define the word discrimination, what defines it, what acts, and what in what sort of context it is used also. Along those lines, stereotype, cultural diversity, and also cultural awareness, and looking at identity as well. And the way of doing that is to, in most classrooms, you're always going to have a large, diverse sort of students. And instead of to be able to draw out information, get them to think, they can straight away, each person's different, either culturally, in the way they're thinking and the way they're brought up. And so they get them to individually talk about their heritage, their background, and their culture. Where there may not be a large, diverse student base, get them to draw out different sort of people that they know of, or friends with, maybe outside of school, or maybe have parents, or ask their parents of different backgrounds, and get a deeper understanding within the classroom by identifying the different cultures within Australia. With that definition of race, stereotype, cultural diversity, cultural awareness, that should set the grounds for being able to understand and to overcome the disadvantage between the marginalisation of some groups within the classroom or the community, because they have a broader understanding of the people within the classroom, but also within the community. And also that comes on to identities. And with this deeper understanding and deeper acknowledgement, they can do this either individually or within the group. And each group chooses a different culture or identity of the larger community. And with the dual presentation, depends, like if you look at the primary age, they can do a presentation like on the board, with the good points, not looking at the bad points, because that's only going to bring out some negative views, but also shade with the good points of that culture, which then will heighten the understanding and get them to present it to each person within within the classroom, which will bring out a deeper understanding, as I said before. So how you might teach it would all be individualised or within the group, and that engagement will all come from each other. So it's not a teacher's point of view coming across to the student, it's the student peer point of view, which will allow for deeper learning.